This is the magicwordpodcast.com.
Good morning, everyone. It is Scott Wells for the magicwordpodcast.com, and here we go. We have just departed Colon. We've left the Colon, Michigan, and have us get together, and we are now in Midway in Chicago. Early morning to catch a magic carpet on Southwest Airlines and fly to Las Vegas, where we will be picking up for another convention which is known as Magic Live, and that's going to be fantastic. As always, Stan really never lets people know in advance who it is going to be there, who's going to be performing or anything on the schedule. So just like the magazine, it's a surprise when it arrives. It used to arrive in your mailbox, and you would turn the page and find out what's happening on the next page. And so it's going to be fun and exciting. All I know is there are 1,600 people, 1,600, that's right, people who will be attending. And it's been a sellout for a while, and I've been on this list where people are trying to scramble for last-minute tickets, and so I know that some people have been looking for tickets, and others at the last minute have been able to sell their tickets, and anyhow, lots of issues in trying to get it going and coming, but we just left a great convention. I tell you, it was so different in Colon, where you had a lot of people who were in this small town. And I can't imagine, nor would I really want, the convention to expand to the size of Magic Live, because if it did, you would just be waiting in line all over town. Whereas Colon has, the unique thing about the little town is just that, the smallness of the little village that you have right there. Well, anyhow, so we are just sitting in a coffee shop, not a Dunkin' Donuts, and I say we because guess who's here? Trixie Bond. Hey there, Trixie. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. I didn't want to leave Colon either, especially that early in the morning. As we drove out of town, there were it's raining. It was raining in Colon. It's been raining all the way to Chicago, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, light rain. Not too bad.
Well, no, it was wonderful having come from Texas and not seeing any for 90 days. But it was sad to see the main street of Colon with all the wet, limpy cards that the kids had scaled across the street. I mean, just littered thousands and thousands of playing cards.
Yeah, it looked like snow on the street almost.
Yeah, it really did. And I was just reminiscing what a great time we had in Colon. People are so nice, and I want you to not talk about it too much because it is small and intimate and family-like. Especially, I thought years ago I wanted to come, but I was always working really hard in August, and now that we have the opportunity, I thought, staying with a family, who wants to do that? Because there's not any hotels. It was scary at first, but we love the family that we stay with, and they've just, I talked to Russ and Lorraine throughout the year, and even though Mark and Sue Holstein stay there and live in Texas, that's just about the only time.
There are five of us that share their home with them.
Yeah, it was fun, and boy, what fantastic shows that Colon had. Who would think in the middle of nowhere that there would such international acts, and this Japanese contingent that closed Friday night was unbelievable. They were awesome.
And now we're heading to Magic Live, and you've attended that Magic Live for a number of years, haven't you? You were the first one, I guess?
Not the first one, but
you got there as quick as you could.
Yeah, you got that, like Colon, too, right? No, but I've attended Magic Live for a long time, and the exciting part about that is not knowing what's coming. Mm-hmm. But you know something's coming. And I was trying to explain to another magician in Colon who'd never been to Magic Live about it's just a different experience because they set up theaters, and it's a magical experience that was hard for me to translate to him about how the close-ups presented and the themes that go on.
And, right, and Stan always tries to do something different each year, and that's what's kind of exciting too, because I know some people are coming just to see how he's going to walk that razor-thin tight wire. Is it going to fall or not, And some
how can he be better? How can he top it?
Yeah, how can he top the previous years?
Right?
Yeah.
And the new acts that he seems to get that I've never heard of or seen before.
So, yes, it is. I'm looking forward to Las Vegas. As always, just so many things to do. I mean, outside of just the regular stuff that the magic. I mean, there are obviously the shows and everything. The people come into town early or they stay late. Because of the convention in Colon, I was unable to arrive early because I know that there was a big party that Fielding West was having. It was not only just a private birthday party, invited a few people, but he had also opened up a thing with Fielding and Friends, and which I know there were several magicians who were performing there. And then also Paul Stone was giving a tour of the Siegfried and Roy home yesterday. So there were just a lot of things.
Siegfried and who bought that?
No one I know. It wasn't a magician. It was just some investors.
Do you know if they're going to refurbish it?
That's a good question. We might find that out as the week unfolds.
Well, I know you usually come early and stay late, but you're not staying too late this time.
Yeah, I was going to stay for a day late. Yeah, my plans were thwarted just a little bit. But I do want to also say that this episode is brought to you by the Friends of the Magic Word. Those are the ones who financially support us. I want to welcome a new friend of the Magic Word, David Jones, who had sent some money via PayPal. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, David. And also, while I was in Colon, that Jerry Costello also gave some additional funding that he donates each year then whenever I see him, as does Michael Trick. So thank you guys very much for your patronage. And if you guys would like to find out more about how you can become a friend of the Magic Word, and could get some pretty cool perks along the way, too, if you can pledge through Patreon. Or even PayPal, that will send you some pretty cool things. Go to themagicwordpodcast.com, and you'll see a link there where that you can learn more about that. And one other thing, too, just kind of a quick appeal, I'm going to be heading to Germany. I'm going to be over there for Oktoberfest in September, which will be, I think I'm going to be over there like the 14th through the 23rd, something like that. And while I'm there, I'm going to be in Munich for a few days, but for the rest of the time, perhaps there might be some other German friends who are listening to the podcast who might like to get together. I'd love to have a chat with you. If you want to, if you are available and I can stop by and visit, please drop me an email, scott@themagicwordpodcast.com, and I'll try to arrange something during that time to let you know my schedule, and hopefully we can work out something. I'd love to see you guys over there. I was talking with Huey Spierlich, and I believe I'm going to be giving a lecture in Munich one evening while I'm there. But anyhow, I've kind of gone on enough already, and so you about ready to enjoy
coffee?
That's right. I'm going to have some coffee. I didn't get the donuts, but they're coming with my breakfast. We're at a diner here right now, so let's good black coffee. Just a minute. Yes, that's good hot black coffee. That's good stuff. And the stuff we're going to be seeing this week is going to be good stuff, too. So I'm looking forward to it. So, Trixie, last words?
Oh, cheers.
That's a good one for Las Vegas. And so, with the Magic Word Podcast. See you on the other side. This is Scotty out. I have arrived in Las Vegas, and what's one of the first things that I do when I'm in Las Vegas? You regular listeners know, that's right. You can hear kind of the noise in the background. That's because they're making fresh French fries and double cheeseburgers, and they're making stuff animal style here at the In-N-Out Burger in Las Vegas. Yeah, and some other people say, hey, you want to go to dinner? And I said, if you go on In-N-Out, I would. So I'm not here by myself. I'm here actually with Nick Altieri. Hey there, Nick.
Hello.
And this was your first experience of coming to In-N-Out, because you live in Boston, so tell me, what do you think of In-N-Out?
I actually love it. Very good food.
Why do you think so? You had animal-style fries, too.
I did have animal-style fries. I hear that's the best way to go, and I concur.
Explain what's on it.
Well, you have a mixture of bacon bits with their special sauce, some cheese on the fries.
They're like cheese fries, basically, with Thousand Island sauce covering the rest of it, and bacon. Oh, my goodness, yeah. You're an animal. And, yeah, the fries and everything was really good.
Very good.
And this is your first Magic Live as well, right?
Second one.
Second one, okay.
Yes.
So, is there something, I was going to say, you really don't know what to expect here, so why'd you come back a second time?
Well, my first impression of Magic Live was so good that I felt like coming back would be, experience that again, and so far, so good.
So far, so good. Still Sunday afternoon, and we only just got our badges. And as always, what they have been doing for a number of years, is taking your photos and putting them on a photo badge, which is really cool. But this year is something a little bit different. For those who had paid attention to the emails that Stan was sending out, he'd also requested that if you want to send photos of your early promo pictures, please do that, because the theme for this year is called Beginnings. And so they want to kind of go back to your roots and have everybody begin. And so let's have one of your early shots of you when you were young. And then also you can put something on the bottom of your name tag as to what it was that got you involved in Magic in the first place anyhow. So there are several of us who had done that, but there are several others who didn't because they missed the email or whatever. So it worked out okay. So anyhow, we had to say we're having a great time so far, and the Orleans is prepared for us. Everywhere you go, it's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, good to see you. Great to see you over here. We'll talk later. And so we're just taking an early break because I figure there's not going to be another chance for me to get back over to In-N-Out, but I'm loving it. This is great. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it too then, Nick.
Definitely, yeah. Yes. A lot of familiar faces, too. It's great to see good people.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So we're going to be talking to some of those good people throughout the next few days, so be sure to tune in and listen regularly. So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Nick Altieri. This is Scotty out. From the In-N-Out Burger. We've got back to the hotel. We just left In-N-Out Burger, which it was good, as of course, as usual. And a couple of people we're going to run into a lot of people. And so we're going to try and be brief and hit as many people as we can. And I don't mean that physically, but I just ran into almost literally Marc DeSouza. Hey there, Marc.
Hey, how you doing, Scotty?
You recognize that chuckle, that laugh over there. And, of course, then my good buddy, Mike Close. Hey there, Mike.
Hi!
Oh, you recognize that voice.
Sorry.
It's the Las Vegas climate.
Oh, sorry.
That's Las Vegas climate.
Hey, Scott, good to see you.
You got to be getting used to that. It's not quite the same as Canada, though, I guess.
No, not the same as Canada. Not at all. No.
So Penn and Teller Fools, they had some taping this week, is that right?
We're here. I got here on July 31st, and we just finished our first week of taping. It's a 20-episode season, so that's like 84 magicians we're shepherding through this process.
And what season is this again?
10.
10.
This is season 10.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. And we have 2 more weeks of taping. And I just, today's a day off, and so I stopped by Magic Live just to say...
Just because you couldn't get enough magic, so you came here to see some...
No, it's more the fact
friends.
that I've been out of the picture for about 3 years. I didn't leave home. This is the first I've been out of the country in 3 years.
Well, we see you, on your Zoom things you were...
During
COVID, it was awesome, the things you did.
I can't give hugs to people through Zoom, and that's important for me. So it's just great to see many old... dear friends and catch up, and I'm just glad to be here. The season is we've got some really, really astonishing acts.
And non-card stuff? A lot of non-card?
Oh, no, it's all card stuff.
Okay, there we go.
It's the only thing we booked for this season. If you didn't do a trick that required 3 Pharaoh shuffles and a second deal,
you're not in.
We didn't hire you. That's and Mark can vouch for that because I had to teach him that trick.
Yeah.
And boy, it took me at least 3 days to learn that
exactly
damn thing.
Right.
It
was
a finger cracker.
It certainly was.
What Mike didn't mention is not only they have 84 contestants, that means Penn and Teller have to do 20 new tricks.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
One every week.
That's right.
Boy, that's really
Who consults with them with their ideas?
Well, many times I do, but my the challenge for me this year is we had so many contestants that required my time. I didn't really have as much input on what they were doing, but they found other people to help them.
There's
Jandro
from Spain, who has fooled them 5 times now, and Penn and Jandro just did a duo show together in Spain.
That's right.
In Spanish. Penn's been learning Spanish. So he's like an amazing creator, and he's been working with them as a consultant.
Wow. Since Johnny has not been working, obviously, he left, then who's been your other person?
There is no other person.
Because I talked to you last time, you said it was just you. I didn't know if since then you've added somebody.
No. Johnny and I had the advantage of having a common mentor, Harry Reiser. Harry lived in Chicago when Johnny was there.
Right.
And, of course, Harry comes from the Charlie Miller, Vernon, school. So Johnny and I both had the same aesthetic view of magic. We knew what magic should look like, so we didn't really argue about that kind of thing. We were both working the same way. And for me to find somebody else who can do that, and to train somebody else
Right.
to do it, it's actually easier, although it's more work for me.
I see.
It's actually easier for me to do it than to butt heads with somebody who might be going the other way.
Yeah.
But I've been working on the show since January,
Yeah.
and have
You got a lot of stuff kind of in your mind in the cans.
well,
so
I
in your life
mean,
in July.
we
then
do
hit the
Zoom call after Zoom call
Yeah,
after
okay.
Zoom call, and
It's pretty much a year-round thing for you then.
well, not quite, but it's
Almost.
when it's happening, it involves a lot of my thought process.
And on kind of a related subject, and I'll close, is that when I was at the Abbott's last week, I got to sit down with Dick Stoner. He's 93 years old.
Wow.
Dick, Dick is, of the two people who were the most influence on me, Dick is one, and Harry Reiser
That's why I
is the
mentioned him.
other.
I knew he was.
And I owe a lot to Dick Stoner simply because he's one of the best, most ethical magic dealers around. He never sold me anything that I couldn't handle.
Yeah.
And the main thing I got from him is that you could do magic and be funny at the same time.
Yeah.
And that for me is a big deal. Like the piano players I loved were Victor Borga,
Right.
Steve Allen, people, Pete Barbuti, people
Right.
like that who could be funny and still play
Kind
the
of funny
instrument.
that he mentioned Steve Allen. I think he was on Steve Allen's show because I did an episode that's going to be coming up, kind of a sneak preview for you guys to listen to the future when you hear him. But because obviously he was in trade shows and everything else and on television with all the because he did a lot of comedy and whatnot. So yeah, I knew he was influential, and I thought you might like to know.
I saw Dick Stoner when I was in kindergarten in Fort Wayne.
Wow.
Kindergarten or first grade, something like that. He did an assembly, and I still remember what he did.
Oh,
that
was
was
it?
the first time I saw Hippity Hop Rabbits. That was the first time I ever saw a ghost tube where he produced all the
Yep.
silks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I still remember the joke that he said, you're using your sleeves. And he said, why would I use my sleeves when I have all these handkerchiefs? I still remember that joke.
Yeah.
So
It's a great
Dick was
joke.
great, and he's always been great, and I love Dick Stoner. He's a great guy.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to let you guys go.
All right.
So the Magic
All
Word
right.
Podcast, that's Marc DeSouza and Mike Close.
All right.
Scotty out. So the welcome party has just started, and when I've come in the door, there must have been 15 people that were welcoming each other, and one of the people I've been wanting to talk to for quite a while, and he has agreed to sit down with me. Here he is, Dana Daniels. Hey, Dan.
Oh, hi, Scott. Nice to see you.
And you as well. And you left your parrot at home.
He's at home. He's feeding the dogs, taking care of the house.
Taking care of the house.
Yes.
Okay.
And my wife, yeah.
I've forgotten his name.
Luigi.
Luigi. Mine went blank for a minute. Well, before we got on, we were just talking about Divernon and some stories. And you were saying what did you about the door for the castle?
The very first time I ever met, I was working the door I was a Long Beach Mystic.
Yeah.
And I joined when I was 11 years old, and we had the It's Amazing show. I wasn't on it, but I was working the door, taking the tickets, And Divernon, I certainly knew who he was. And I've seen pictures of him, and I think I've seen him on TV on the Magic Circus or something. And so I took his ticket. I was very excited.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's Divernon. It was like seeing Houdini.
Yeah.
And then years later, when I became a member of the council, I would see him up there. And I never really got to know him. I kind of regret that. I think I was still intimidated a little bit.
Say, may have been.
Yeah, to go approach him and talk to him. And you were just telling me how nice and approachable guy he was. And I'm going, man, I wish I
Would have.
I took that opportunity, because now you can't.
No, that's
Yeah.
true. Which is good advice that you're talking right there.
Take those opportunities. Take those
Exactly. If
opportunities.
you see somebody, what are they going to say but no, or brush you off or whatever?
Yeah.
And you should always, I think, take advantage of whoever you're going to be able to see and talk with, because they may not be here tomorrow. I mean, Dan Garrett's been a longtime friend, and he just passed this last week, and it was
I
so
know,
sad.
I heard that.
And people like that who you just think are going to be around forever,
Right.
and we're not. And
Right.
so as we're all getting older.
Yes, even Luigi. I'm on my third one.
I was about to ask you. Now I thought the parrots lasted longer than that.
This particular type, I always use a spectacle Amazon parrot because I love their demeanor.
Yeah.
And the first one lived 29 years. They usually live about 25 years. This particular kind of parrot. And then,
Parrots last over 100 years or something,
Oh,
90
that's
years or
rare.
something? Is it?
That's
Okay.
yeah. The bigger parrots will do that, like a macaw.
Yeah.
Even that's kind of rare. They might live like 80 or something like that. That's as far as I've been told.
Wow.
But I'm on my third parrot. So, and he's 8 years old. This one.
So he's got some more. He probably lasts.
He's going to outlive me on this one. Yeah,
almost on this one. Well, as I said, when we were just coming in, it was interesting because the first one I saw was Alex Ramon, and we were hugging it out, and then he was saying, hey, Dana was just saying about how much that he had liked the podcast, and he said he listened to both episodes, and then all of a sudden it's like, is this Dana? Just as you were walking in.
It was me. Yes. Yeah.
So you were out, and you would say like a 6-mile walk or something.
Yeah. I spent half the year in Maui working out there.
And Warren Annabelle.
Yeah, Warren Adams Magic. And so during the day, it's like I go find something to do, so I take these long walks. There's plenty of places of walking in Maui. And so.
Oh, so it's your profile that I've been seeing, long walks on the beach.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I hang out with Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. One of those parrot heads or fin heads.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thank you, Dana. A good talking, good seeing you, and we will sit down and have a longer conversation while we're here.
That would be wonderful. Look forward to that.
So the Magic Word Podcast. So it's Dana Daniels. Scotty out. Another good friend who you had perhaps heard before on the podcast, if you go back and listen to an episode, probably about a year ago, I guess, was Paul Stone. I got him here with me right now. Hey, Paul.
How you doing there?
Fantastic. So the reason I would like to chat with you is not only because it's always good to catch up with you, but also that you've been promoting on the New Zealand e-zine for a while prior to this convention that you were going to be giving tours of Siegfried and Roy's home. And that was yesterday and today. How'd that go, and how many people went on the tour?
Well, it was a limited number. It was only for 25 people, but it was. It's not like we're going to do this forever. It was just a one-off video or two-off opportunity, only because I'm involved with the place. I'm the executive producer there. Obviously, we're just trying to get the place up and running, and because Magic Live was coming in, it's actually the first tours they've ever done there. They may not be doing any more, so it was a really special time for people to go there. But the new owner is a circus guy called George Carden from the International Circus, and he's bought the place, spent over $1 million doing it up. It looks spectacular, absolutely spectacular. He bought a lot of stuff that was the original Siegfried and Roy stuff, filled the house with it. The gardens outside looks phenomenal. They've redone the grounds. Yeah, I think everybody that went had a great time.
What about some of the furniture? I mean, everything has been taken out of there and sold, I guess, so what did you fill it with?
Well, what happened was, obviously, all the main, like the costumes and some of the really expensive stuff went to some collectors, but then the owner...
Like Chip Romero, I just saw there.
Yeah. But let me tell you, the owner went to great pains to find out where they were auctioning everything else off, and he spent a lot of money, and so everything in the house now he's brought it all back.
Wow.
So all the furniture and all the other things in the house now are all original Siegfried and Roy stuff, and it looks.
Now I've been to their home a long time ago. Whenever we had a Las Vegas Desert Seminar years ago,
remember.
But in the backyard, of course, they had the animal compound basically, and a couple of pools. That's still there, I guess.
Oh, everything's there. It's all been done up. The pool they've redone the main tiger pool looks great. And all the cages look fantastic. They've really spent a lot of money. It looks.
Did they put pictures in there of what the tigers look like? Or anything?
Well, I'm not going to tell you what they're doing. You didn't come on the tour, did you? So I'm not going to tell you. But hopefully one day you'll get over there. No, but this it looks fantastic, and it's although they brought it back to. I would say, it looks as good as it's ever looked, but there's still got more to do there. It's like everything else. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to carry on with it. Only thing to say is that if this guy hadn't bought it, it probably would have been bought by a developer and then knocked down, which is exactly what happened to Little Bavaria, which is literally all knocked down, and been sold, and it's now 327 condos. So this guy has actually done an amazing thing, because the Jungle Palace is the iconic home of Siegfried and Roy. It was the place where they were, when they were at the height of their careers, that's where they were. They had 20 lions and tigers in there, and leopards, and it was phenomenal.
I thought perhaps somebody that was going to buy it might turn it into a B&B. I mean, that'd be a cool place.
Well, the problem is it's a residential area around there.
Good point.
And there's getting permits and licenses in this day and age is difficult, but we've got good people on it, and I'm in touch with Lynette Chappelle, who Lynette's a very close friend of mine. She was the leading lady and evil queen of Siegfried and Roy. She was the and actually in Siegfried and Roy, kept them together, and she's now involved with it. And so we're giving it our best shot. The family, actually interesting. My friend Wally Eastwood, who's the host of the V the variety show here in town. It's his family that have bought it, so he's been working really hard, and we're all trying to make it work, and hopefully there'll be. I have some plans actually for an event next year, but
okay, good.
You'll find out about it.
Well, I was about to say that hopefully this is not the end, and we don't ever get a chance again. So something might be in the works for others.
Anything that's to do with magic, I'll be involved with. But we just got to get some permits and licenses sorted. Once that's done, then fingers crossed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul, for what all you do and keeping magic alive.
We do our
especially
best.
Keeping their Sarmodi alive.
Well, to be fair, Sarmodi. That's why Siegfried and Roy, masters of the impossible.
They should probably put Paul Stone in there too, master of the impossible. That was him, Paul Stone. This is Scotty out. Thank you. We are in the dealer's room right now, and there are how many dealers? 70 or there are a bunch of
my
dealers.
Goodness.
A lot of them.
It's jammed in here.
It is. And I'm here with someone who is one of my favorite dealers. Lady also is the editor of the Magicana, right? Editor?
Yes,
and there she is.
Well, I'm editing our journal, Magical.
Julie Yang. There you are. And what I just heard is you're going to be the host tomorrow, also co-host.
Yeah.
Are you going to be working with...
So we've got the general sessions for Magic Live, as you recall, and I've been invited, to host Monday sessions. So I'm really excited. Great lineup. I can't tip everything right now, but I can promise it will be a lot of fun, and Monday's my day, so you know it's going to be a good one.
Yes, yep. Well, by the time that this gets posted tomorrow night, because I'm not going to post today's tonight, I'm going to post today's tomorrow with tomorrow's.
Oh my God, it sounds like some kind of magic trick I have to keep up with here.
It is. So anyhow, that'll all be done then tomorrow. You say you're just hosting the one. Who's hosting then on Tuesday?
So on Tuesday, Mike Caveney is hosting a section, and then on Wednesday, that's Alex Boyce.
Are you? Oh, Alex is. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to be also hosting with Jonathan Levitt like you did before?
I'm not. This year, I'm on my own because Jonathan's one of the presenters this year, and I think I can't remember which day, Tuesday or Wednesday, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean it's great. The gang's kind of back together, but we're doing different things and we're sharing new information. It's really kind of cool to see how much has come back. We're in this in-person meeting mode again, and it's jammed.
Yes. It's a general session, and mine is tomorrow at 10 to 12. And about how many people we're going to be having? 800
people per session.
No, I know that's how many people are going to be.
Excuse me. We've got five. I think there's one that's unannounced, so that's going to be kind of fun.
Surprise.
Yeah, but it's going to be great. We've got, you're going to learn something. You're going to hear about stuff. You're going to see maybe some surprises. You're going to talk about the great goodie bag. I'm sure you've been telling your listeners all about.
I haven't yet, actually.
Oh my God, you guys, we have got this.
Tell us what we got.
We have this fantastic. So we usually get some kind of cool item in the goodie bag. But this year, Stan outdid himself. He's given us a memory box because this year's theme is all about beginnings. Mm-hmm. So it's fantastic. It's got some secrets inside. There's some things that we're going to talk about that are inside, and I think all throughout the sessions, the general sessions.
Oh, okay. So all will be revealed as we continue.
And it's about what you want to make. If you read the editorial, it's about a special box where you can use it as a memory box, add things. You think of it as a magic that you want to create or add.
Because it's a puzzle box. You have to have a special way. You have to learn how to open it.
You have to learn. It's got all kinds of secrets in there. You bet. So go through carefully, Scott. Is all I'm going to tip you with.
Well, good advice. They showed me whenever I checked in. Here's the way. Here's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you'll have to show it on a video or something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's something really special that we can really add to as well. And as I said, my session we were going to talk about one of the cool items inside.
When I saw that behind the counter, I thought, we're all going to get cigars. So
it looks like a cigar box. Yeah.
I guess you could put cigars in
there. No, it's very cool, and I really like this year's theme. It's about beginnings. And we've all been through so much. Everybody's sort of really looking for a fresh start in maybe their interest in magic, getting together about magic, trying new magic, or are we looking back and sort of closing chapters and starting new ones?
Right.
So it's a really cool aspect of this.
Stan always has some sort of a theme that people will remember, friends or whatever it happens to be. But conversations, talking or whatever. This is a great one, I think, at beginnings. Even like our badges have pictures of us when we were younger, That's a goofy one. Where's your picture?
You have got to post this. This is fantastic. Sneaky Pete Magic. That was what got you into it. Mine was supposed to read hat, not stork. Is because I was pulled out of a hat, not delivered by the stork.
Although your hair looks kind of a mess right there. So that was the idea.
Kind of a nest. Yes, my mother would agree. Mom, you're right. It is. I got to get it trimmed.
There we go. So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was our host for tomorrow. That was Julie Yang, Scotty out. One of the advantages of attending conventions back-to-back is that we see each other at these different events. Well, one of the guys I saw in New Orleans a couple weeks ago at the SAM convention went one way and I went another. I went to Colon and he went across the United States. And that's Bill Walsh, because he's from Australia, and he and Peter Rogers were going to see some other shows, and one of them was to go see Aussie Wind's show. And I said at the time, I want to talk with you afterwards to see how the show was. So here he is. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Good, Scott. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So how has this last week been crisscrossing the country?
It has been. Well, we've seen a lot of magic shows. In New York, we actually saw 3. We saw Tannen's After Dark, we saw Speakeasy, and we saw the Aussie Wind show. I think the Aussie Wind show was the best of the 3 personally, but the other 2 were quite good. My only complaint about the whole 3 is they do it in the dark. They don't really... They have a light, but not a lot of light.
Okay.
And to me, close-up magic should be seen. Now, for example, at the Speakeasy, they had only a circle of light, so if they hold the card up, you can't see what the card is if it's outside the circle. So, and the whole 3 of the shows were a bit the same way. But Aussie Wind's an excellent show. I would really recommend anyone go and seeing it. It's not cheap, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that it wasn't cheap necessarily, and only seats about 30 people or so?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the other shows you saw? How many people they seat?
Look, similar amounts. Probably the Speakeasy a bit more because they have a lot of performers.
Is that the one that Todd Robbins has?
It's the Todd Robbins one, yeah. Yep. And we went with Peter Samuelson actually and saw that, and his partner. And so it was a good show. We had.
You didn't get to see Monday Night Magic?
No, because it wasn't on that. We were booked in to see it, but there was some, not a public holiday, but something to do that it wasn't on for that weekend. But unfortunately, so I missed it. But then in Las Vegas, we made up with it. We've seen lots of shows here.
How would you compare that with some other shows like Darren Brown, some other things you've seen then?
I haven't seen the Darren Brown show, so I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, here we've seen some really good shows too. There's one called The Magician's Study, which is sort of a secret show. They don't tell you where it's at until the last minute.
Is that in New York also?
No, that's here in Las Vegas.
Oh, Vegas, okay.
Yeah.
And you did see that?
Yeah, we did see that.
It was good.
It was good. The only disappointment for us was it was an Australian act.
Okay.
So we were expecting something different, but it was an Australian living over here performing it all.
That's kind of funny. You had to come all the way from Australia to see it.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, thanks very much. Good update.
Thanks, Scott. See you, mate.
So for the Magic Word Podcast, that's Bill Walsh. Scotty out. Michael Chaut.
Hey there, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Michael. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yes.
I keep going to conventions thinking I'm eventually going to see you, and had to come all the way to Vegas then. Since I haven't been out of the city in a while.
The last time I saw you in person was at my apartment, but we won't talk about that. We went to see Darren Brown, that's right.
That was a long time, too long ago.
And then you convinced me, hey, I lost some weight since you had me on your show, right?
Yeah, well, okay, now you convinced me. I do need to for a variety of reasons. So next time you see
90
me...
pounds.
90 pounds, is that right? Yeah, well, you were chunky like me.
He interviewed me on the podcast on video, and I was fighting it. You go, oh, no, you look great. I look fat.
Where the last lines are,
Anyway, you're all missing it. You should be here at Magic Live. It's the greatest Magic convention ever.
It is, and it's been sold out, but there have been some tickets that have been sold, and so you might be able to find something. If there's like a website, I think if you go on Facebook, there's a Facebook group that are trying to buy and sell some tickets for at least a day passes and things, so hopefully you might be able to find something. But yeah, if you're not here, you should be here.
Or come and hang out in New Orleans at the bar afterwards.
There's several people that are doing that.
You can't walk. You can't walk more than 5 feet and not see somebody that's a legend in the world of magic.
Banachek just called me about an hour ago and said, hey, if he's working, he's not coming to here, but he is going to go to the bar, and he said, I'll see you a little bit later this evening then, too. So.
Hey, and I got the former president the Society of American Magicians in New York, right here, Sterling Lee.
How you
From
doing?
Parent Assembly 1?
Yes.
What is your name?
Sterling.
Sterling Lee.
Hey, Scott, how
Scott
you doing?
Wells. Pleasure to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you, sir.
He just retired, and there's a new president, but he just...
So who will the salute to magic be for next year?
Oh, you gotta come to Suzy. See,
Look.
No comment.
The most beautiful... No, come here. The most beautiful woman that I know, and what an incredible magician. Jade, here we go, right here.
Hello.
Hi, Jade.
Hi. How
You've been
are
on
you
here a few
guys?
times in the past.
Oh, yes.
It's good to see
thank
you again.
Good to see you. You look great.
See, why should I lose weight? She thinks I look great.
He looks great. Look at that. He's got a tan. He's living the good life. Nice smile.
I'm getting around. Why am I looking?
Good, right? Yeah.
I want you to say
you're
more.
good.
I didn't hear a word you said.
Tell
Say
me
it
more.
again. But it's on tape now.
It's on tape.
Yeah,
That's all
right.
good.
So you enjoying the convention?
Yes. Is this one of the larger dealer rooms?
This is the largest right now.
In the U.S.
Except for Blackpool.
But it's the largest in the U.S.
In the
because
US.
the one of Magi Fest, I think, has about 1,000. This has 1,600.
Yeah, but it's still smaller, size-wise.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. I haven't been here. Well, 2019 was my last time. So I don't think the dealer room was this big, but I absolutely love...
I've made it down one row so far.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Keep shopping. There's a lot more to come.
Yeah, it's more. I'm thinking about going back to the room and dropping off some stuff. It just
Bring a bigger bag.
I'm trying to not buy things, but I want to get Harrison Carroll's book.
We love you.
Or
We have to
Harrison
go.
Bond.
I have
Bond.
to...
I gotta go.
Yeah, but no, I wanted to say hello to Mr. Schiller.
Yes. Okay.
Over to my right is Scott Schiller and Zoe Ruth from Liberty Magic.
Listen, very busy, and so I'm going to say...
And the one and only Larry Wilson.
Larry Wilson is right
Legend,
here.
Larry Wilson.
Yep.
And there's Chris Philpott right there. I mean, it's amazing.
Yep. Just,
you can't look
is that
5
Martin
feet.
Mercy he's talking to?
That is Matt Marcy, who he's talking to. Exactly right.
Great.
Yeah. And there's John Bannon over there right next to him. Just trying to glance around. You know, it's an easy eye shot here. So, a lot of dealers.
Have a great time at the convention, Scott.
I am, Michael. It's always good whenever I see you. I feel good.
I'll see you in the halls.
Are you going to be? Have you signed up for FISM in Italy?
No.
Are you going to go then?
No.
Or you just,
I would, because my passport expired. I know it's lame. I'm looking for it.
Well, they can make another one. You got time.
You've been in my apartment.
Yeah.
know.
Oh well.
But I'm finally getting it under control. So.
Well, you need an assistant. Wait a minute. You already
I got
have an assistant.
No. That Will is gone. But Karen is now helping me, my best friend Karen.
Oh, you need all the help you can get, man.
I do. I do.
How many years for you been producing Monday Night Magic?
26 years now. We now have a new version called Monday Night Magic Close Up and In Person. We're in Monte's Trattoria in the private dining room in Greenwich Village. It's an Italian staple that's been around over 100 years. And we just signed a deal with the Cutting Room. It's almost finished to do 4 shows during the holiday season, and it'll be called Monday Night Magic, the Holiday Series.
And when's that, just the month of December?
Columbus Day, Thanksgiving, and the last 2 weeks of December. So yes, we're close.
Okay. It's going to be called what again?
Monday Night Magic, the Holiday Series.
And it will have a theme to it, basically.
It will just have great magic, as we always have, but in a really cool new place.
During those particular times?
Yes. Only on Mondays, though. So Monday, October 9th, Monday, November 20th, Monday, December 18th, and Monday, December 25th. You heard it here first.
There we go. Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it. I'm going to talk to Larry here for just a second then, too. If I can get in over here, just a word to Larry then, too. Want to say hi. We are actually here right now at the Tannen's Magic Shop booth, and they are selling the new book. Hey, Chris.
What's up?
It's up. Good to see you, man.
How are you?
It's been a while.
What are you recording?
Oh, well, you know, I'm always recording my podcast over here.
Okay.
So hey, Criss Angel right here. Good to see you.
Scott. What's up? Scott Wells, the man, the legend, the myth.
So, how come you're not working tonight? Is it Sunday night?
Are you kidding me? I sold out tonight. I sold out every night this week. I just got done off the stage, and I rushed over here because I need to be next to my brothers and my sisters.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Now. What I want to know is when we're going to be able to try your chocolate liquor. When's that going to be available?
Oh, well, you know what? It's all available over at Kablip in Overton. So go to Criss Angel's Breakfast, Lunch, and Pizza. It's located in Overton, and you can sample everything. Food's amazing. The cocktails, everything. It's to die for. Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome to see you, Scott. God bless you.
Yep,
Tell Banachek I said hello. Where's he?
He's coming for
He
drinks
better
later
be here.
tonight.
I want to see
Okay.
him.
So, you never know, as I said, who you're going to run into over here, just like that. That's great.
I enjoy your podcast.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I listen to it online sometimes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What is your name?
Grady.
Grady. Where are you from, Grady?
I'm from Florida.
Do you get to this convention very often, or is this your first
This is
magic?
my first time. But
What do you think
I've
so
been
far?
Oh, it's great. There's a lot of crazy dealers, unlike other conventions.
Yeah. It's got everybody here, Well, enjoy this. It's good to see you. Glad to meet you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
As I said, we never know who we're going to be running into over here. Let's say hi to Larry just a second. As I said, we're going to try to get a chance to talk to Larry Wilson right here. But
great to see you.
As we do, then there's Tom Borjahan coming in, and then right
Tom
now...
Borjahan. I had no idea you were talking.
That's
Scott.
okay.
Barging in as he does.
No, that's barging in. It's not Tom Barging in, not Tom Borjahan.
Oh, sorry.
You got
It's
barging in.
It's a different guy.
It would be a great way for people to remember that.
That's right. Barging in. Barging in.
I think I could do something with that.
Tom barging in. That'd be a good way, kind of, when you do close-up, walking into the restaurant.
Just barge in.
Yeah, I'm Tom Borjahan, but you call me barging in. Got a new name there. There you go.
I like it. I like it very much.
You kids go back to talking about what you were talking
We're
about.
talking about you, actually, but
really talking
Really,
about
from
you.
across the room? That's bad.
That is bad, but that's the truth. I'm sorry.
They just missed Criss Angel. He just walked that way. You can follow the crowd. You'll see him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No shit.
No, it was Criss.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I think there's more people here than there have been, but they say there's not.
Sure seems like that.
Sure does.
Even Norm Nielsen.
Chris Hart, quit pushing people around.
Easy now.
Settle down.
Put that hand to good use.
Settle down.
So, Larry, so tell me about what's going on with you. You were working over to Mystique, and then you're working still in Reno with your podcast. Tell me about the other podcast. Kind of promote that a little bit about why people should be listening to that.
Well, the podcast is part of my alternative identity. It's not my plan, but just seems the way it worked out. This professor at MIT, Alan Oppenheim, hired me to train grad students at MIT in advanced communication technique. And it was a gigantic success, and he said, this is what you should really be doing. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah. So I developed this whole Wilson method communication training. So now I'm performing as Larry Wilson, comedy magician.
Right.
But then I'm also juggling my time with Wilson method. And part of Wilson method is Professor Oppenheim said, you should really have a podcast. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. So I started this podcast called How to Talk to Humans. And it's really about all things that are talked about in Wilson method. And it just been incredibly successful. I was freaked out about that as well. But the response has been unbelievable. I understand you, Scott, are a devoted listener to How to Talk to Humans.
Yes.
So that's very...
Because that's what I do. My job is talking to humans.
Of course. Well, you're a very good communicator.
Thank you.
You already do stuff that seems like you've been through Wilson method. But I know you haven't. I think you acquired it by other means.
That's right. Kind of trial and error, I guess, over the last dozen years.
Well, that's how we all did.
Sure.
I had the advantage. I was working all these years with the biggest stars in show business.
Yeah.
And I started to realize, they get everything they want in life. And I realized it's not because of talent. It's not because of beauty. It's not any of this. It's because of how they're communicating. And some of them, I could just say, hey, I just saw you do this thing with that person. And they'll be able to break it down.
Yeah.
Now, some of them were working on instinct. They were very unaware of what they were doing. So I could model those people.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm astonished by the reaction to Wilson Method.
You have a wide listener base, I'm sure. Mine, of course, is limited pretty much to magicians. I mean, non-magicians listen, but anybody who has even a little bit of an interest in magic listens to my podcast.
Right, of course.
But yours has a wider interest because everybody talks to humans.
Or at least tries to.
Well, good point.
But what I'm astounded by is how a lot of corporations now are reaching out to me. You know this company, Salesforce?
Yeah.
They just reached out to me about this because they said, we have people who have to get up and speak in front of groups,
right,
and they're terrified.
And they can't.
I said, well, this is very common.
One of the biggest fears of public speaking.
Apparently the number one fear.
Yep.
Number two fear is death. So in other words, if you're at a funeral and they ask you to give a eulogy, you'd rather be in the box. Now that's crazy, am I right?
Well, you're right.
That's crazy. And yet, it's so common. And so that is something that we work on specifically. But then also the guys at Salesforce were telling me, everybody on Zoom having a terrible time. I said, well, yeah, there's no exchange of human energy. Very difficult. So now you have to employ facial affect. You have to be able to make eye contact when you can't actually see. I said, all this stuff is very difficult. But the good news is that it's very easy to learn.
There you go.
Anybody can do it, and it works. That's all it is.
So there you go. You've heard the first episode right there for talking to humans.
Well, I guess so. I guess you have.
It's kind of in a synopsis right there.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Really
Larry, good luck. Continued success with that then.
Thank you.
Always good to see you on all the stuff you work on. You're just like a shark. You keep moving, man.
Well, I'm sure there's a compliment in there somewhere.
Well, yeah.
If we just know, I'm teasing you. It's a very nice thing for you to say.
Yeah.
And, sharks need love too, Scott.
Yeah, and that's what you got from me. Nothing but love.
It's always that way. Always.
So with the Magic Word Podcast, that was a bunch of people we just talked to, including this last one, Lori Wilson. This is Scotty out. Thank you.